Welcome to another episode of Hood Fella. People that deserve to be on this show, yeah, you deserve a hood felony. This is an episode of Hood Felonies, episode 9, where we discuss in Australia again, these some badass kids. Well, these kids were so goddamn gone bad for so long that they got worse. You know, it's one of them times and one of those situations. But these kids, they aggravated this area for so damn long. I don't know how people didn't put up with it for so long, you know. But these kids, they all got a hood felony. Every last one of these little badass kids, all, even though they was grown after they finally got apprehended, they still some badass kids, and they deserve hood felonies all the way around.
And tortured and raped and murdered. Australia's most notorious criminal madman. Generation upon generation. It's Michael who leads his younger brothers, Gary and Les Murphy, into a life of crime.
Murphy, who was the older one, who was always in trouble from all the records against him in the public, was sort of the leader, and Gary, not being the highest of intelligence, followed the leader, and Les, being the little brother in stature as well as age, followed them.
How to fight. I don't know whether they used to go to a gym or somebody taught them to fight or their father, but they certainly knew how to hit hard, right in the face, break a nose.
As well as car stealing and burglary, the boys also branch out to mugging. It's poorly lit, well known as a lover's lane and a dumping ground for stolen cars.
I think by the time down there, one if not two, they probably already had sex with him in the car. So she'd been forced through the barbed wire fence rather than thrown over it or helped over it, and she'd been dragged through it. And as I said,
she was lying face down at that point, and John Travers jumped on her back and grabbed her by the back of the hair. She was conscious at that time because the coroner said that she had defence wounds on her hand, and she put her hand up to stop that knife, and he'd almost several of her fingers.
She was able to give us a profile, if you like, of Travers' activities and his attitude towards women which involved high degree of violence.
Shut up. Of the brutal rape Travers committed in Western Australia. She tells them about how proud he was as he told her the whole gruesome story, and it was then she realised he was completely out of control.
Never wavered from her story. She wanted to give that evidence because she knew that if she didn't, John Travers would commit another crime like that again.
A massive manhunt is launched for the other two Murphy brothers, Michael and Gary, and they're eventually arrested in a house at Glenfield in southwestern Sydney.
The Tactical Response Group swooped just before 10 p.m.
News that 5 men have been charged with the rape and murder of Anita sets off a wave of revulsion right across the nation.
it was enormous. There was huge crowds outside the black.
Men he fed for his life.
That's pretty scary, you know, just seeing that, you know, and especially for my brothers, it must have been hard for them. I'm scared. I'm just scared to go to jail because I think what's been said may happen, and I mean, like, I don't want it to happen to me.
When the Murphy brothers, John Travers and Michael Murdoch, are interviewed, the police find them quite cooperative. They're all eager to tell their story. But like all cowards, they try to blame each other.
They admitted that they had sex with her, and they gave us some.
And he did try and attack her, and she was very frightened, but she did stand her ground, and she kept giving her evidence.
Miss X has her identity changed, and she and her family are moved to a new secret location. The 5 men stand trial in the New South Wales Supreme Court some 13 months after Anita's murder. John Travers, knowing the evidence against him is overwhelming, suddenly changes his plea to guilty. The trial of the other 4 lasts 2 months, and the defendants shock Australia with their callous attitude, laughing and sniggering in the dock as the gruesome details of Anita's murder are described to the jury.
Their demeanour in court was probably one of smugness, I suppose.
To the jury.
Their demeanour in court was probably one of smugness, I suppose.
The boys were giggling and smirking and carrying on.
4 men guilty, and they're sentenced to life in prison.